We went to Comic-Con and I still smell bad. Hi, I'm Ariel Italic.
I'm Lady Berka Andrews and I thought everybody was gonna be wearing a costume.
You were wrong and you're stupid.
You're watching Nobody's Watching Wrestling! Bam! We watched Hell in a Cell and it was so boring that we had to call in reinforcements. Actual drag queen wrestler, Boy Diva!
What? Tom Blunt from Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab.
Match 1, New Day versus the Usos. The only good match of the night, kind of. It was like a full-length fetish porn, basically.
Oh!
I loved it.
The New Day was exactly their own, like, marching band. Every instrument came out from below the mat.
Including
Matt?
3 trombones.
3.
I don't even know which iteration of Francesca we're on.
Do you remember when Xavier got like full-on Gerald gamed and got handcuffed to the ring post and I felt like I was being involved in someone's kink without my consent?
I liked it up until the Usos won. They tried. They pulled out a color. They wore red, but that doesn't mean that you get to win. Like, a fashion risk doesn't mean like, oh, we love you now.
I would win all the time if that was the case.
Kendo sticks. Not a thing you encounter a lot outside of Rasselsport, but we had a bunch of them, especially when they were used as part of the bondage fetish life to put someone in a fence corner bound up by kendo sticks, which I guess is a thing that some people do when they jerk off.
I think it was the first time I was actually turned on by the Usos when he was like, which Uso was that?
Never know.
Yeah, I never know either.
Were you into it because it was like their branded merch? The New Day has their like color ring kendo stick.
Their
like
kendo stick of color.
Yes. It looked like they just put like 100 slap bracelets down it.
Oh, slap bracelets!
That's branded merch you should have.
Yes, they should totally have slap bracelets. We should have slap bracelets.
I think they do.
Ooh, it starts out straight and turns into a booty-o!
Match 2, Randy Orton and Rusev with his high-waisted, beautiful man panty.
That was a look.
Look!
Maroon. I didn't even miss Lana. That's how good he looked.
She like had that makeover like movie montage and then she came on and wrestled.
Oh my god, new dream is that the fashion police do a makeover montage with people who look better. Guys, who wouldn't watch that movie?
I'd watch it all the time, including when masturbating.
Speaking of things that we masturbate, no, that's a bad segue.
I'll say it.
But I was gonna jump to Randy Orton,
okay.
so no.
Have we ever, okay.
That's the best way to segue to me. Oh, okay. Did you notice that Randy Orton had a new like chest tattoo over here that I'm curious what Bible quote he got.
I thought that was a blood mark for a moment.
It does look like you're bleeding when you lie down, and that's like a thing to be concerned about in your line of work, so maybe think of me once in a while, Mr. Orton. Like, come on.
I love that you're
Insensitive.
assuming he's gonna listen to what you're saying.
He's watching! Don't watch this and jerk off, you creep.
What are we doing?
Match 3, Ty Dillinger versus Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles. Do you have thoughts, Berka?
Not a lot.
I have a very important look note that Baron Corbin, king of the bad pants, had the worst pants this time because he had what he thought was a brown pelvic bone on his hips, but what was actually a black woman's vulva.
I like that Ty Dillinger came out with his idea of what a straight person thinks of Klaus Nomi.
Yeah, no, it says that he watched He-Man when he was little and liked Evelyn.
Oh yeah, I did not. Yeah.
I will say, Ty Dillinger he's not a 10, but he's a 9.5. Like, he's an A+ hottie, except for that really stupid hairdo.
They're like cornrows, but like not, they're shaved in. Major appropriation with his hairdo.
That's what you call appropriation?
I think so.
Baron Corbin stole a brown woman's vagina, and that's appropriation? I guess we have to talk about AJ Styles, because he was there.
AJ Styles is the only person in all of the WWE whose hair stays dry and silky through a match.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah, so put him in a Pantene commercial and get him out of this fucking show. Baron Corbin barely in this match.
I guess it's also important that not only did he win, but he also won a title because there was a lot of rumors backstage that he was trouble and that they were holding him back, and that's why he lost the Money in the Bank briefcase. But now he won a title, so I guess that was all bullshit.
Is the belt big enough to cover his big bald cooch? Everyone, welcome to the couch, actual drag queen and actual wrestler, Boy Diva!
It's such a pleasure and honor to be here, to be like an honorary nobody, even though my psychiatrist says I'm totally a somebody, and my therapist says to go back to my psychiatrist and get a higher dosage of antidepressants, and my boyfriend says, well, my boyfriend says he's not really my boyfriend, he's just some guy who held the door open for me at Starbucks last week, but I got his number anyway.
Oh, you're gonna fit right in here, cutie.
Match 4, Natty versus Charlotte.
Oh, you still hate Charlotte, I forget about this.
I don't, yes, you're right.
She's kind of blah, I know she had some hiatus off for personal reasons, which I mean, I could relate. But why'd you come back if you're just gonna do the same old spiel? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there was no re-energy in what she was doing. She came out with the same fucking look, same fucking attitude.
You're wrong, that robe was new and it had peacock details on the collar and the back.
So speaking of new, Natty, no, kind of switched her gear, and she went for a more Road Warrior gimmick, and that was cool. And I also want to point out 2 years ago I started doing the cat ears and the Sailor Moon buns, because I'm a Sailor Moon mark, this is legit. And so I tried to confront her about it on Twitter, but then she blocked me because there's a supposed rumor that I may or may have not.
Rumor has it. You completely made it so Accident Report has nothing to say. He is a Foot Clan. Is that the way I say that?
Nope. Yeah, I do want to point out that you could kind of see, okay, I don't know the terminology for this because I only watch America's Next Top Model and they don't have weave this nice. You know the individual one? Well, her hair was pulled up into that tight high pony, and then when she whipped it, you could see all down the side the little hair installation.
Do we need to start a Natty weave watch?
I was watching it.
I would like to have Natty's weave in the clumps of my hands. I like the part where Charlotte looked like a flamingo and hopped up on the ropes with one leg. That was really good storytelling on her part.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
She switched feet in the middle of the match. She couldn't figure out which one was injured.
Oh shit!
For me, one of the best moments of the night was when Natalya went full Bad Girls Club and decided that she didn't care about winning, she just wanted to keep her fucking belt because it's hers, so she just beat Charlotte with a chair.
That was my favorite part of the night. She said, fuck this match. I'm saying fuck this, fuck Natalya, stop talking about her, and she just whacked off on that bitch.
Just whacked off on her. Match 5, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal, who came out last. Oh, it's about fucking time.
I'm gonna surprise you all and say that I'm really bored with both of them. I didn't say I was bored with Nakamura's dick. He's wearing even less underwear somehow. I'm just bored with them fighting each other.
Yeah, this was the same match that we've already seen, which is why Nakamura had to literally indicate his crotch and be like, I'm not wearing panties! Not just the legs that were boot cut, it was like a boot cut penis.
Oh my god, do you think he has a boot cut penis?
I don't think he has an uncut penis.
As a professional wrestler, I can tell they were over it with each other. They didn't want to work each other. This one was sick of that one. On some personal shit, because there was one incident where they both ran at each other and went this way and head went that way, and started banging on the mat as if he was oh my god, I really hate this guy, why am I working with him? But then it was also a good cover up because he was in character as well with the whole weird No, I thought so.
Wow.
I got nothing.
Wow. You just made me silent.
Oh. The crowd was during the match.
Oh. Welcome to the couch, Tom Blunt of Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab.
Ooh. Tom, tell us about yourself.
Oh, I'm nobody. Oh, shit, that's your thing. I work at Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab and we make things smell. Hell in a smell.
Oh my god!
Tell us about your history with the sport of wrestle.
I started watching wrestle with this asshole, not over here. I didn't feel like I had permission to watch wrestling before I met you guys, because I grew up in rural territories. Now we live in a queer utopia. It's a fruitopia.
I love Fruitopia!
I used to mix it with vodka.
Oh, you're that old.
Oh my god.
I graduated college in 2002.
How old am I?
Match 6, Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler.
I think you guys are shading me a little bit by having me talk about the worst match of the night.
I love this match, mainly because I'd never seen Bobby Roode before, and he is a handsome fella.
He needs a little bit of white leather instead of white, like, jersey knit or whatever it was.
I would be down for white leather too.
He was bunching up a little in the backside.
It was very diapery, and white does not help that appearance. The robe was so good, though.
I love that he's so confident to have words right above his big, fat legs.
What do you think about a Rude for Men fragrance?
Yes, please.
It would smell like white leather and hair gel.
LA Looks hair gel.
You guys make the fragrances. There's a reason that we don't choose the notes, because I'm just like, it smells like a man's armpit, but also he loves me, but also he bought me a really cheap drink.
I'm into all of this.
Dolph Ziggler.
His hair is very versatile.
It was like it became like a nimbus around like the Virgin de Guadalupe, like around his head that just kind of floated there.
Hell in a shell.
Dolph Ziggler's hair looked like that mom in the high school PTA who you knew like had too many cats.
Or horses.
Or just not enough time, yeah.
This is real Lynchian commentary, and that's how it should be. That's why you're watching. Why are you watching?
At the end, there were like several sexy rollies in a row.
I forgot this was the coin slot match. It was like,
We almost saw ass for both of them, and I was way into it.
I'm gonna show your butt. No, I'm gonna show your butt. No, I'm gonna show your butt. Butts. Match 7 is Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon.
Versus the Cell.
Versus the
Versus the
Cell.
Cell.
There was a lot of psychological tension with the sentient cell that descended from the heavens to encapsulate us.
It's true. So I get really excited about any match that has some physical feature that has to be imported into the match. And in this case, I thought it was really funny because the Cell just sort of, they play it up so big as this demonic sort of entity, but it just sort of descends. And I think that's because if they add, like that's as much of the Cell as we can see. If we are exposed to its true form, we'll all just go blind and mad.
I mean, every match tonight did have some craziness to it, just because of the aura of the Cell.
It's the Chthonian horror made of medical tentacles.
Yes.
She will swallow you up. She is here, much like RuPaul, to devour your sadness and pain, and it keeps her young and shiny.
Does the Cell have a Twitter?
Oh, she do now.
Has the Cell blocked Boy Diva on Twitter?
So if the Cell could speak to us verbally as she speaks to us psychologically, how do we think she would sound?
I think it's like Isabella Rossellini doing the green porno where she's like, if I were a cell, men would battle inside of me to make me fertile. That's better. That was better than mine.
They would cling to my walls with their moist hands and ascend me while I quiver.
I would be filled with a Kevin Owens and a grandfather.
Crowds would tremble, wondering, will my structural integrity fail?
The blood would seep into my veins and make my walls stronger.
Oh, I'm being delightfully jostled, aren't I?
You are on top of me, but I support you, even though you think I will break.
If I am pleased, I will raise into the air, and my children, with the tables, ladders, and chairs, will issue forth for the next trimester. I don't fuck.
Accident report?
I can't do it.
One more thing. Welcome to the stage, Isabella Rossellini.
No, hell is a Cell. I am excited that I saw a middle-aged man like plummet into out of orbit, like re-enter the atmosphere and then crash into a table.
I'm curious about your thoughts on this because you're always worried about the old wrestlers. He's really old.
He knows what he's doing. His kids are there.
I'm worried because of the psychology behind it, because I know that this is a lot of daddy issue coming down.
Well, that was the whole match.
Oh, Kevin called him out on it too, even though Kevin obviously is the one with daddy issues.
Oh, big time.
He's an adult baby.
He's an adult baby. Surprised mom didn't come out.
AJ was earlier.
I think that, you know, the cell is like the only mother that is like...
Oh.
She's the Ur mother.
It should be spinning. Next.
Spinning.
I think she should be spinning.
Slowly.
Spinning.
I think she
A
wants
real
to spin.
slow rotation. While making like an awful drone.
How does Isabella Rossellini sound in a drone?
I am here to encapsulate your souls and their sweat.
Thanks for watching Nobody's Watching Wrestling. Join us if you're in New York City, October 20th at Brooklyn Bazaar in Greenpoint for our new monthly show called Nope. It's going to be every third Friday.
If you enjoy this show, and you might, then we have a Patreon. It's very expensive to put this shit together, even though it doesn't look it, and we would love to steal your money to make sure this keeps happening. If you want to see the same content or better content, then go ahead and throw us a couple bucks. Couldn't hurt, might help. If you want to find me on social media, it's Arial Italic everywhere you can think to look.
Look for me at The Lady Baraka.
Baraka looks like Superman from Club Silencio from Mulholland Drive.
I don't know what that means, but I love it.
Well, to be fair, Charlotte is
Well, you would know better than
also
me.
like 20 years younger than Natalia.
Really?
About.
20!
Look good.
No, that can't be right.
Daddy is not 20 years older than Charlotte, living some Claire Huxtable life where her skin's still that good. No.
We will fact check this later. For now, I like how this sounds.
Okay, here's a fact. Wrestlers do not age that well. Wrestlers age like a goddamn plate of leftovers. There is no wrestler out there who looks good for their age.
Boy, Diva is legit 15 years old.
Yeah.
Oh!
I just had my quinceañera last week, and then like next year I'm gonna have like a big Sweet 16. So
Can I come?
I already came.